What's your all-time favorite video game? If I'm being honest, the most genuine fun I've had playing a game was Guitar Hero. Me and my brothers would play for hours. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005. Command & Conquer, Red Alert. Baldur's Gate series on the PC is so damn good. I've been playing them for 20 plus years and still discover new things every time I reboot it. It seems stupid, but Mario Kart Wii. There's a lot of things I hate about it, but everything I love about it basically washes the bad stuff out like it was never there. Edit, from the comments, I can tell that it's not stupid. Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's one of those few games that I can be playing and get so immersed into it, I can play it half the day and not even realize it. Chrono Trigger. It was a life changer. Removed. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. I have been playing the game for 16 years and still love every minute of it. Subnautica. Your first playthrough in this game is unforgettable. Oh, and the host is magnificent. Kerbal Space Program. Addictive, once you climb over the wall. Well, more like once you sail over the wall, spinning uncontrollably, shedding parts and boosters. You get the idea. Edit, wow, a Kerbal Space Program comment with an upvote count that surpasses my hours played. Amazing. I guess I have a new goal to aspire to. Thanks, y'all. Removed. BioShock. Something about that world just holds a weird place in my heart, partly nostalgia for one of the last times I still held that childhood awe and wonder for games, but also because it just holds up really well. The music, the atmosphere, the story, the gameplay. I've spent more hours in Rapture and Columbia than I thought possible for games that take around 8 to 12 hours to beat. I think a defining factor for me when it comes to enjoying a game, is if I just love being in the world, just walking around soaking in the atmosphere. The MGS games are also like that for me, smiley face. Stardew Valley. Most relaxing game in my opinion that still never fails to suck me in every single time I turn it on. Being made, mostly, by one person and seeing how that game turned out, you can tell this game means a lot to him. The time and effort put towards not only the original release, but also the added content that followed were just absolutely amazing in every way. Excited for his next game. Portal 2. What's a cool fun fact that you know? Dragonflies are the predator with the highest success rate, over 90%, and are one of the few animals that are capable of plotting intercept courses rather than chasing their prey. They're basically mosquito murder drones. That cows have regional moos. Apparently in the early 1960s, a lounge singer named Von Meter suddenly found himself extremely lucky. He sort of looked like newly elected President John F. Kennedy and he could imitate him fairly well, too. He used this to perfect an impersonation comedy act of Kennedy, which got him a deal for a comedy album. He and a few others released The First Family. The First Family was a smash. Nearly everyone in America owned this album. It was part of nearly every home, like a fridge or a TV. People couldn't get enough. It wasn't edgy or even insulting, it was just comedians doing parody of the Kennedy family and people ate it up. Even Kennedy loved it. In a sense, it was groundbreaking in that no other US president was lampooned in such a way before. In fact, Richard Nixon refused to buy it because he felt it crossed a line of respect towards presidents. Von Meter became one of the most well-known celebrities in America in the blink of an eye. A second album was in the works. Then Kennedy was shot, the second album scrapped, Meter couldn't find work, lost all of his money, became an addict, and I think he ended up owning a bar somewhere. A true rise and fall tale. There are more plastic flamingo lawn ornaments in the US than there are wild flamingos on the entire planet. Platypus don't have nipples, to feed their young they sweat milk. One horse has about 15 horsepower while a human has about 1 horsepower. Okay, this fact has connected facts. In late 1800s girl killed herself by jumping from bridge on Siena River and she was known as the unknown woman of the Seine. When the guy who worked in morgue saw her, he thought she was beautiful and ordered a plaster cast of her face. Fast forward to 1960s, CPR was invented and they needed a doll to train people. So they partnered with Norwegian producer of medical devices. That guy decided to use the plaster cast of unknown woman of the Seine and named the doll Annie, because his daughter was named Annie. While performing CPR, people were trained to talk to a doll person, so there is that common phrase Annie. Annie, are you okay? Fast forward to when Michael Jackson decided to put that phrase in his classic Smooth Criminal. The person least related to you on the planet is your 50th cousin. Statistically speaking, you have over 1 million eighth cousins. Sharks like and get attracted to heavy metal music played underwater. The Nazis planned to assassinate Winston Churchill with an explosive chocolate bar. Cuttlefish can accurately match the color and texture of their environment despite the fact that they're colorblind. Scientists speculated there are other planets orbiting distant stars, but haven't had a clear evidence of this fact up until the 1990s. And the majority of currently known exoplanets, almost 5,000, as of now, have been discovered well into 2000s, which means that humanity is at the very beginning of its discovery journey regarding other planetary systems. With James Webb Telescope being extremely close to finalizing its calibrations as we speak, we will be able to not only discover hundreds, if not thousands of new planets, and stars and galaxies, but also detect whether there are traces of alien civilizations on them. We should all be very excited about this, as this is unprecedented, and a huge deal for science and our species as a whole. Manatees regulate buoyancy by farting. They eat a ton of plants and accumulate a lot of methane. They then release gas when they want to sink and hold it and when they want to go to the surface or are being polite. Edit. Additional info. I know far too many about McDonald's. McDonald's owns the lots that every McDonald's franchise sits on, and charges the franchise owner rent. This makes McDonald's the world's largest real estate developer. Thanks to Happy Meal toys, McDonald's is also the world's largest toy distributor. The Happy Meal was based on a box of cereal. Put the food in a colorful box with a free toy inside. McDonald's is the world's largest purchaser of Coca-Cola. They're so big, Coca-Cola has an entire corporate division dedicated to servicing McDonald's. A McDonald's at a ski resort in Sweden is famous for having a ski-through. It's just a fancy outdoor window that skiers can ski up to and place their order. A McDonald's in Sedona, Arizona has become famous for have turquoise arches instead of the usual golden arches. This is because a local zoning bylaw says the golden arches would clash with the red rocks. Edit. Since enough people commented on it, I had to do further research on my first fact of McDonald's owning the lots that their restaurants sit on. McDonald's currently owns 45% of the lots that their restaurants sit on, and 70% of the buildings that McDonald's are in. McDonald's primary revenue stream remains charging their franchisees rent. One of the Zimbabwe's president's name was Banana. If you could have sex with any mythical creature, which would you choose? A shapeshifter. Forest nymph. 100% succubus. I know I'd die after, but apparently they bring out the most pleasure a person can take and kills you with that pleasure. Nice try, Zeus. Would a mermaid count? I would like to see how that goes. Aphrodite. Elf. Got an elf thing. No love for the Sphinx? I want some post-coital riddles. Maybe like a smokin' hot succubus? Nobody's said it yet, so I will. Dragons. A genie. You know it'd be magical. My Canadian girlfriend. She goes to another school so you wouldn't know her. Edit. Woohoo. My first gold. Thank you, internet friend. Edit 2, amending edit 1 to say internet friends. A Zora. Tentacle monster. Day. Vampire.